Hi there and welcome to the next industry interview. My name is Crystelle from Launchy.io and today we have Greg from Thryv with us. Now, Greg Nicolle is a seasoned expert with over 30 years of experience driving growth for small to medium-sized businesses. Now, as the head of SMB Success for Thryv Australia, he combines his deep knowledge of marketing and business software to help businesses adapt and thrive. Now, he's very passionate about supporting local businesses. Greg uses his background in sales and capability development to empower teams and enhance customer excellence. Now, he is a forward thinker and he advocates for automation and AI as key tools for businesses to stay competitive in a digital environment. Now, I'm very excited to have Greg with us today. Welcome.
Wow, thanks, Crystelle. What an intro. I am passionate about all those things you were talking about there, and I'm actually very excited about our discussion today.
Amazing, amazing. We're super excited today to be sharing that we are Thryv certified partners here at Launchy and absolutely loving the product suite that we're getting to know, our clients are now getting to know. And I thought it would be amazing to bring you on here so we can share a little bit about who you are, because I know you do some amazing training around Australia for different business types and industry events and all kinds of things. So bringing you into what is typically Keap is one of the product suites, and then we've got the amazing Marketing Centre. Marketing Centre Pro, I'd say, is probably my favourite so far. But I would love everyone to get to know you a little bit before we dig into that stuff. Now, can you share of all the stuff that you've done and all the training you've done, and what would be a really valuable business lesson that you've learnt along the way that maybe you could share to kick us off?
Yeah, for sure. For me, I think, and like you alluded to there, I've been involved in marketing or small business software for a long time. So right back in the Yellow Pages days when everyone was just looking through a Yellow Pages print book to Yellow Pages online, and then everyone had websites and search engine marketing, search engine optimization, and now small business software. I think for me, the lesson I've learned along the way is to always do everything you can possibly do to understand what it's like to be a customer of the business you're talking to. So what is that actual customer experience? And if you can really get down into the nitty gritty of that, how easy are they to find when you do find them? How easy is it to talk to them when you are talking to them? How easy is it to get an invoice or a quote or send them great communications after they're a customer to keep them engaged? Like what is that experience like? And I think if you can really get into deep conversations about that with customers, then all of the good ideas and all of the plans and all of the ways that you can move forward with where that business would like to go actually become really clear.
Oh my gosh, you know what? It couldn't be more timely to be talking about this. I read an article on LinkedIn just this morning and it said, "Who is your new boss?" It's your customer.
Absolutely.
Start listening, start hearing them, get to know them, and not just to get to know them in person, in bricks and mortar sense, but what are they doing online? Look at the data. And that's where something like, whether it be your CRM with automation, your marketing center that's aggregating data for you, getting to know your customer is such a massive thing.
Yeah, and it is a trap that business owners get into, particularly small business owners where you're so immersed in the end-to-end running of the business. When you think about how do I improve the business, you can tend to think about the processes, just the marketing, the processes. How can I speed up that? How can I save some money there? How can I get some more customers? But you really need to take a step back and have another look in a different helicopter view and actually look at what the view from the customer looks like, because it does put a whole different layer on across the business, and most business owners haven't done it. And when you do go in and have that conversation, they really enjoy it for starters, but a whole host of opportunities generally come out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Gosh, I just couldn't agree more with that. And it doesn't matter what industry you're in, it's the same all round. You really have to understand that and take notice, stop, and like in another sense, it's stop and smell the roses. We get so busy doing things. Sometimes you just got to stop and look, understand and listen. And that's
absolutely.
And so something that I've been doing quite a lot lately, and every time I jump on an interview this, is I love to know who's your mentor, or have you been listening to any podcasts, or has there been anything lately or in your past that has just inspired you in this direction that you've gone?
Yeah, look, it's going to sound like I'm copying you a little bit here, but I look at my boss as being the customers that we look after as well. So when I think about my biggest mentor or inspiration, it often comes from two areas. One is those clients, okay? And when you do get into their business and they actually share with you what it is like to be, or you uncover together what it's like to be a customer of their business, you learn so much about what it is like to run a business. Okay, obviously, my parents did have a business when I was young, and I learned a lot of that sort of through that process. But I've never had a business myself. So my opportunity to understand what that world looks like is when a customer will really open up to me and share those experiences with me. So I take a lot of mentorship from that. That's number one. And the other one is really my team. Okay. So if I think about my team, I'm not someone who actually stands up and thinks they know everything about everything there is to do with marketing and business and small business and client experience and software. But I have a team that their experience, their ideas, their solutions, their own thoughts around things, because they're all talking to customers every day as well, is just endless. And I have a collaboration meeting with my team every single week where we just throw a little idea or throw a problem or a customer issue into the machine. And out of that just comes the most amazing ideas and solutions and things as well. So for me, I get as much mentorship and inspiration from my clients and my team really as I do from anywhere else.
Yeah, that's amazing. And you know what? I can echo how amazing the Australian Thryv team really is. I've had the pleasure over the last, probably only 3 weeks in particular, maybe, that I've actually been really digging in and getting to know everyone and what's to come for Australia, for what is the bigger Thryv family that we're now part of. And there's a lot of movers and shakers, actually. That's probably the best way for that I am seeing it, that everyone really cares. Everyone knows so much about the market. And I think because you guys have stopped and listened, you really
Yeah.
on the front of that.
Thanks for that. That's really great to hear that. But we feel actually exactly the same about the Keap team and really the extended Keap team, which really for Keap is all of their partners as well, which is a very important part of the Keap family. As we're having more meetings and understanding and working out how each of us work and how we can work together to help our customers get the best experience across Marketing Centre and Keap, it's just amazing how similar our cultures are and how well we're all working together and how we're all on the same page, actually, which is how do we help small and medium business compete with the bigger end of town who have got endless money and endless resources and they can get whatever software they want and do whatever they want. How do we help small and medium business compete at that level? And we're all on the same page, which is fantastic.
Yeah, it really is. And that actually leads me perfectly to what I would really love to dig into with you. And I know we're all in the early days of getting to know each other. And so when I was thinking about what I wanted to ask you, first up in my mind, because I'm getting to know what is Marketing Centre Pro. And I'll probably keep talking about that one because that's my favorite one at the moment. But I also, Marketing Centre is a great tool. There's other tools that go in amongst it all, which I'm still learning. And I'm already seeing some of our clients are going, oh, this sounds interesting. This is great, because it sits in silo, but it actually works in tandem for the business, which is a very powerful thing. So you can get started fast. And the bit that I'm trying to get my head around is if we were going to strip back all the, okay, so Keap's part of the Thryv family and we're all in amongst this amazing extended family together, what are the themes that you guys are seeing in the space of online visibility, reputation management, social media, AI, like any of that kind of stuff that is happening now in the Thryv world, and any maybe things that are coming that are being released soon, or no, we might not be able to talk about that, but like what are you guys seeing and what are you seeing and being on the front foot of training and customers there?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, first of all, Thryv, and like you've alluded to, the Marketing Centre, but we've also got the Business Centre as well, and now we've got Keap. Thryv is always going to be about how do we arm our customers, how do we arm small and medium business owners with the tools to make it easier for them to do the things that they know they should be doing, but they don't have the time or the expertise or the knowledge or whatever to be able to, or the resources to to pull it off themselves. When you're a business owner, you wear a lot of hats, and sometimes just doing business gets in the way of doing the things that you know you should be doing to either provide that great customer experience or to drive additional sales and additional effectiveness across the business, because the day just runs out. You're still up at midnight completing the tasks for the day. So Thryv is all about providing the tools, regardless of what is going on in the industry, and I'll touch on that in a second, but regardless of what is going on in the industry, providing the tools to make sure that our business owners can do all of the basic things that a good business should be doing on a regular basis. And by those basic things, I'm talking about tools to make it easier, to make sure that your presence is correct right across the internet, okay? All the different verticals, not just Google, not just Bing, not just Facebook, but everywhere across the internet where anybody could possibly find you, that A, you are being found, and that B, that the information is all correct. Because a lot of other tools like voice search, or the little tool that sits inside the BMW that tells you where the closest tire place is, or Chat GPT, or any of the other AI tools that are out there, they're pulling from all of this data on the internet. So it's really important that is all accurate. So making sure that's accurate, that the website is doing what it's supposed to be doing, which is converting a lead into a valuable customer. And there's a lot that sits around that. So the website, the Google business profile, which if you're a business owner and you're watching this chat now, you probably had problems with your Google business profile, because all businesses do. Getting that, making sure the information there is right, because that drives your map listing on the front page of Google. Probably one of the most important things to get right. But then the big ones around social media. How do I create engaging posts that people want to read, and post them at a time that is the right time, and post them across the right channel as well? Okay, I live in a house with 5 people, and if you want to reach everyone in this house, you have to be on 5 different social media platforms. You've got to be on Facebook, you've got to be on Instagram, you've got to be on Snapchat, you've got to be on YouTube, and you've got to be on, what's the other one? One other one that I can't even think of. But there's 5 that you need to be on if you want to reach everyone in this house. So it is pretty complicated. And then reviews as well. Reviews, we still have a situation where some businesses understand the importance and they stay on top of their reviews, but it's time consuming and difficult, and you've still got to be creative. And we've got other businesses that still think that if I don't encourage reviews, they won't happen, which obviously isn't true, but they bury their head in the sand and just pretend they're not there. So it's really important to make sure that part of the world is getting managed as well. So it's really providing the tools to make it easy to manage those things, no matter what is happening in the market. And if we think about the market at the moment, most times when I'm looking for something now, I hold down a button on my phone and I tell it what I'm looking for. And in my case, Gemini, which is Google's AI, comes up with the answer and tells me what I need to know, right? So I'm not even doing a Google search. And I think if we look at the next 2, 3, 4 years, that's exactly what's going to happen. So the traditional search as we know it probably will disappear. And one of these AI solutions that are out there at the moment, and you've all heard of Chat GPT, some of you have got Microsoft, have heard of Copilot, but you've got Gemini, which is Google, and you've got DeepSeek, which is the one in the news from China, and you've got Grok, which is Elon Musk out there doing his thing. They're all doing different things, and they're all helping consumers find data in new ways that a year ago we weren't even thinking of. So the trick for a business owner right now is where do I put my information? How do I organize that information? And how do I make sure that information is available so that regardless of whether somebody's doing a traditional Google search, or whether they're finding me on Apple Maps, or whether they're doing a voice search, or whether they're trying to get the answer from an AI tool, like one of those ones I suggested, that my information and my business is going to be the solution to the question that they're asking. So I think the cool thing about a tool like Marketing Center is it doesn't matter which way consumers are going to be finding their information in the future, because our tools are set up to make sure that we're making the most of whatever the current search patterns are in the market, and that we're helping these small businesses put themselves in front of those customers.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. There was so much in that.
Oh, I know. I realized halfway through that this is a very long answer, but I hope that sort of painted a pretty good picture of what we're doing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And you reminded me of one of the really cool features that I'm exploring at the moment because I'm wanting to understand where it's pulling from. And that's everything's data. We all like, whether it be customer data about their behavior, their purchasing, their engagement or non-engagement. And then you go online and it's like your business data. And so that's what Thryv, I think, does so well is it aggregates this data, but it doesn't just aggregate, like as in pull all your data in together from where you put it. It helps you put it all out there and then manage it and update it from the one spot, which it's a very clean way to do it. And the cool little feature in there that I'm enjoying is the article side of the social media poster, because there's a lot of social media posting tools out there. And some of them are part of a bigger tool and some of them are a standalone, like a Hootsuite or something like that. But having it as part of a bigger visibility and reputation management structure there, then actually being able to grab an article, and which is that having the right information out there and it being pulled in, but grabbing someone else's article and being able to be relevant on your post.
Yeah, and repurposing it as your own. We walk a really fine line, okay? There is good tools out there, and there has been good tools out there at probably more of a medium to high level or large business level to do these sort of things for a little while. But the fine line that we're walking is that it doesn't matter how good a tool is, if it's too difficult to learn, too complicated to use, too expensive to have, then it's just not going to get used. So our fine line is we need to provide a tool to small and medium business owners that is powerful enough to make them look creative, make them create great posts, give them access, like you just said then, to other articles that are trending across the internet in their particular vertical, to images that are relevant to their business, making it so easy that they do go on there and use it. Okay, because that's the key. If it's too complicated or too powerful, you could even say that it's too hard to use, then it's as pointless as not having it in the first place. So we tread that really fine line between making it powerful enough that it is really creative and giving your customers a great experience and getting you more customers and responding to your reviews and doing all the things you want to do, but in a way that you know that you can just jump on there and it's easy for you to do, so that you do get into a habit and a rhythm of actually using it. So yeah, I think we've nailed that. We're always improving it, but at the moment I feel like we've nailed that tightrope act that we're trying to achieve.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd love to say, yeah, I know everything that you're saying there and I totally agree. I'm still learning with the team at Launchy, but so far I can absolutely say that it is a very intuitive system. And I'm going to be showing one of our wineries to get their feedback that we work with soon. And that'll be really great to hear from them because they're both online and bricks and mortar, which is the perfect combination for what
Absolutely.
is a marketing centre. So very cool. Now, is there anything that you would consider a game changer in the space with what the Thryv Marketing Centre or even the command?
Probably marketing. Look, you did touch on it then, and I know that Keap also has features that sit within this as well. But I think a game changer at the moment is AI. I'm a big advocate of AI, but also automation. I think anything we can do to make it easier for customers or for businesses to get things done is really important. But AI is a really important one because it's a buzzword. There's all these AI tools out there, but really, who's using them for constructive ways for things that are going to benefit their business versus who's just mucking around with them and writing fun stories, right? Or getting your kids' homework done. I think what we've been able to do is utilize the AI within the tool to actually make it easier for our clients to do some really cool things. And a couple of great examples are within social. Rather than you having to think of a great thing to post every time, if you are actually a winery, I'll use a winery for example, and you're setting up your posts for the month, okay? So you're writing 5 or 6 or 7 posts at the start of the month and they're automated, going to get sent out during the month, and you're trying to think of things to write. You can just write, hey, what are the top 5 wine trends as we come into autumn? And Thryv Marketing Center will come up with 3 or 4 or 5 different examples of a great post written in 10 different ways across different verticals, X and Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, wherever you want to send it. You can get to choose what tone you write it in. Do you want to be funny, witty, serious, humorous, or just general? And do you want to use hashtags? Do you want to use emojis? Just select all the buttons and then it will write it for you. And generally, it's pulling on data, it's pulling on history, it's pulling on trends, and it's pulling on things that are going to interest people. And I've played around with it a lot for different customers in different industries, and it really does make it super easy to be creative and come up with articles or posts that people are going to be interested in. So AI is a big one. And we also use the AI in review responses. In other areas of Thryv, we use it for email marketing. And I know Keap is also thinking of new ways all the time to use AI within its ecosystem as well. So I think AI is probably the game changer. And I think Thryv is doing a really good job of integrating it into our tools to not confuse our customers, but to make it easier for them to do the work that they want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? The use of AI inside the marketing center, it is great because you're not actually, it's not like you're logging into a little chat GPT over here or DeepSeek or wherever it might be. It's just part of the workflow. It makes it nice and easy. And that's where, like, we have a lot of our clients at Launchy that ask us about AI and different tools, what they can use to in their business automation, and go, okay, yep, there's a lot of tools out there. What AI should do is help you do things more efficiently or more productively, or just really to go, like you said before, gone are the days of the standard search, really. If I need to do research, I actually will go onto my paid GPT account, and there's all different levels of research that you can do. And so if you're using different tools like that, there's so much benefit to doing it.
Yeah.
That's a big one too.
100%. And you and me, we live and breathe it. So we do have these paid accounts and things like that. But what we've found is we can't believe it when we hear about someone not using AI to make their life easier. That's crazy. But there are a lot of small businesses out there that don't. Again, they're wearing all the hats. They're just flat out doing what they're doing, making wine or cutting dogs or trimming hair, whatever it is they're doing. They don't have the time to sit down and think about the applications about how AI is going to help their business. So to have it built into the tool and it's just there and it's just part of how the tool works, I think that's where we've seen that it's making a big difference for our clients anyway, those small, medium businesses.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's a massive one. And I actually have done I've got another webinar that I've recorded. So if anyone wants to look at the business automation and AI together, bringing the customer journey into that and so working it into the whole process, it's a massive thing to consider. And a lot of people don't have the time to slow down and look at it. But like you say, this is our world. We're in it all the time. And I'm actually playing, is there any particular new AI tools that you're playing with at the moment outside of the amazing Thryv network?
For entertainment, I've done some funny things. I recorded one of my kids. There's one where I recorded them talking for a couple of minutes and it completely recognizes, stores, and completely tracks all the audio cues of their voice. And then you can type anything you like to type onto the internet and it will talk it back perfectly in my kid's voice, right? Which is scary. That one's a little bit scary, I'm going to have to admit. But I've also done lots of image-based stuff and now the video ones, of course, are coming out there as well. So I think we are heading into a world where it's going to be pretty hard to know what to believe. So that's probably another conversation, maybe another little podcast for you there, Crystal, down the track. But I think, as far as business goes, all of the tools are something that I use on a very regular basis every day. So I think any ways that businesses like Keap and Thryv can make it easier for a busy business owner to take advantage of it, the sooner, the better, because you're missing out if you're not already incorporating it into your day-to-day in some way, shape or form.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. You know what? This takes us to our next section, which is all about Keap. And Keap is very close to our hearts and is now part of the wider Thryv family of products. And that's super exciting. I think for the partners out there that might be watching, I hope you embrace it, because for our clients, that's what we're in this game. For our clients, it is a great tool. And when I say it, I'm talking about the marketing center. And who knows what's going to happen down the track? No one knows. No one's got the crystal ball, but it's a really positive change, I think, for the Keap wider community globally, but particularly I'm just thinking of, quite selfishly, of Australia. And I love the activity that you guys have here in Australia, and I'm going to be coming to an event that you're going to be speaking at in a couple of weeks as well, which would be really great to meet more of the team in person. Hopefully I get to meet Thryver too. I'm hoping Thryver might be there.
Thryver will be there. I have it on very good authority.
That is exciting. I'm going to be taking selfies with Thryver. And for those of you who don't know who Thryver is, he's the big orange character.
The one on TV, yeah.
Yes.
And he loves these little conferences. He gets around or they get around and shake hands and takes photos with everyone. It's I look forward to getting a nice photo with Thryver, Crystelle, and myself.
Yes.
We'll have to put it on the website, Crystelle.
How exciting. Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait. And so I think that you guys do so much for business. I think bringing the Keap product suite under the Thryv banner is a really amazing thing, like I just said. Tell me, what's the feeling internally at Thryv? Because I imagine you guys are trying to get to know Keap and the partner community, but more so even just the product suite and what it adds to customer in the end. But yeah. Sure.
Yeah, look, we are learning more and more about Keap, obviously, as our two businesses are coming together. But what we are mostly excited about is we've got a massive heritage of helping small and medium businesses find new customers. That heritage goes back beyond Keap as a small business software and back to marketing services and even printed directories and everything. We go back 140 years, actually, in Australia. So we've been helping small businesses for a long time find new leads or find customers. What we're really excited about with Keap is an amazingly powerful marketing automation tool that, if you think about it, is there to help turn those leads that we're helping our customers find into paying customers. And then, of course, once they are a paying customer, again, coming up with other automations to help keep them engaged and keep them as part of a community of each business, so that they keep coming back and keep buying and recommending their friends and staying within that ecosystem of that business. So now I'm oversimplifying it there, I know, so apologies to anybody who's already using Keap in a much more sophisticated manner. But for me, it's about, we've been doing one thing extremely well, as in getting customers to our businesses. And now with Keap, it's what do we do with those customers to turn them into, from leads into paying clients. And for me, that's just the next evolution. That's the next step. And everyone in Thryv is really excited about how that is all going to come together.
Yeah, absolutely. And some of the discussions that I've been privileged to be part of have been around events coming in Australia and the different marketing activities and the visibility that the brand will have in Australia, which is super exciting. That is something we definitely have missed. And we've had we've been around for quite a long time now. It's about 11 and a half years. And we're just it almost feels like we're going back to the original days when we used to get out there and do events for partners and end users. And it'd be really great to just be part of what you guys do and see how you do it. And because you know what, when you say you've been around a long time, you really have. And your leaders, they're out there, what's the best way to say it? They're out there finding businesses and bringing them all in amongst all the online directories around the world. And can you talk a little bit to that and that history?
Yeah.
That's powerful stuff, that.
Yeah, sure. I think what's really exciting here and why Thryv as a business was interested in originally joining up with us here in Australia. So our heritage is with the Yellow Pages business. Okay, so we had the first Yellow Pages directory 140 years ago. Now, back then, our goal was to help small and medium business find customers to help them grow their business. And we've gone on that journey with a lot of big businesses here in Australia that are large businesses now that were with us right back at the start there with a little ad in the Yellow Pages that grew over time. And as the industry changed, and I was actually with Thryv or Yellow Pages back when it was just the Yellow Pages directory. So I've been here 25 years myself. So I got to see that, but I was here when the internet, if you like, as far as the internet in regards to Yellow Pages online and really those early days came into being, okay? And back in those days, if you did a search for a small or medium industry on Google, so a plumber or an electrician or a winery or a hairdresser, Yellow Pages would come up the top of the organic search results and drive all that traffic to Yellow. And to be honest, it probably surprises people, but today, actually, that not much has changed. If I was to do a search for a plumber in Glenelg, where I live here in Adelaide, in the top 3 or 4 results is going to be Yellow Pages. So we are still helping small and medium businesses compete with the bigger end of town by giving them economical ways to generate leads to their business. So that has always been our history. But because of that, obviously we had relationships with just about every business in Australia. So as Thryv was looking to expand beyond the US and become an international company, we're a very attractive proposition because Thryv as a small business software, which has exactly the same goals, but to help businesses tackle that client experience and improve that client experience and provide efficiencies into their business, those exact same goals are the same goals that we had from a marketing point of view. We knew that if we introduced, or Thryv knew that if they introduced Thryv to our existing Yellow customers at the time, that there would be a big synergy and a great connection, great opportunity for all of those Yellow customers to move into the next decade with small business software. And that's exactly what's happened. And Thryv here in Australia, it's probably been the fastest growing part of Thryv internationally since we started up here. It's been amazing. So yeah, I think that's our heritage. And I think Keap just plays into that really well as well for exactly the same reasons. Clients that need new customers, that have got Thryv to help automate, manage, get new customers for their business, also have a need to make sure that they're not losing those customers out of the funnel, that they're converting as many of them as they can possibly convert, that they're looking after those customers with great messages and communication and marketing, and that those customers feel like they're part of a community and keep coming back to those businesses as well. So we just feel like it's a natural evolution. And now we think with Keap, then that is the complete story now. We've got this end-to-end journey that we can help small, medium businesses with, right from helping them find a new customer or helping a customer find them, all the way through to turning that into a sale and then managing that relationship off the back end of that as well. So now that is an end-to-end customer journey that we can help all of our clients with. So we're really excited about it.
Yeah, you know what? I love that, the end to end. That's at Launchy. We work on the full business automation tech stack with our clients. And that is right from when a lead hits the business, whether it be online or walking in the front door or Google, wherever that lead is coming in, right through the journey. And we want to make sure that no one's being forgotten about. We design like it's a bucket with holes and we want to cork up all the holes and treat everyone like they're just absolute gold, but not like doing it in such a way like what you were just talking about there, the marketing automation, the sales automation. But the really cool thing is we're putting 2 absolute industry best systems together. There is no, and I would say it's a very competitive landscape now in a business automation space, particularly CRM, sales and marketing automation. But I would say there's probably not even a person who would disagree with the fact that Keap has the best marketing automation canvas available for building. It's a lot of fun to build on, but what you can do with it is it is invaluable for a business to be able to get serious leverage and look after all those leads coming in. So really they're basically a powerhouse together.
The power of these solutions together, I think, are absolutely amazing. And I think, again, what excites me is we're doing it for those businesses that can't afford a marketing department or a marketing person or an automation person or an IT person. We're talking about businesses where everyone's wearing multiple hats and they know they should be doing all of this stuff and it would make their business so much better. But, oh gosh, we don't have time to do it and we don't have the resource and it's going to cost too money. And we're making it available. Okay. And I think that's really exciting for small and medium business as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And when it comes to like the type of businesses that can use Thryv, So, but particularly, say, Thryv Marketing Centre, would there be an industry that stands out, or is it basically any business that can be serviced through it?
Yeah, if we're talking about Marketing Centre particularly, we really are talking about any business, because every business should have their listings optimized across the internet. They just should. It's actually concerning to see, we go and do digital reviews for businesses to see what their actual digital landscape looks like. And more often than not, 9 times out of 10, even if you are a larger established business, it's a little bit scary, because what happens is it's the Wild West, the internet. Sites that are listing sites, the directory sites, and these smaller ones, they're just scraping stuff from all over the internet and building their own directories and doing all sorts of stuff and pulling information from wrong places and matching up incorrect names with incorrect numbers and addresses and everything. And you end up very quickly with a profile on your business when you go and scan for it that is just incorrect and messy and inaccurate all over the internet. Really, all businesses can benefit from that. The sort of things that we are helping businesses with, which is that, but then also their Google business profile, their reviews, their social media, their website. These are all things that every business, they are the core bedrock of what you should be doing, and not doing anything less than that. And it's making sure that all of that is 100% accurate, and really every business can benefit from that. So we have a lot of businesses, and we work with a lot of businesses that have from 2 to 5 or 10 employees, but we also do work with businesses that have 50 plus, 100 plus employees as well. So it really does apply to anybody who thinks it's important to make sure that their marketing and their visibility and the way that they portray their businesses across the internet is important.
Oh my gosh. And if anyone didn't just have both hands and both feet in the air when you just said that, then they need to rewind this recording and listen to it again, because if you need to be visible on the internet and you want to manage your reputation, or if you're not doing either of those things at the moment, that's what we're talking about. It's not just Yellow Pages Online either. Not that I should put the word just before that, to be honest, but we're talking about how many directories? Is it like 40 potential?
Yeah, 40 plus, yeah. And you're right. The reason Yellow Pages Online is still in there is because when you do a local search, and I'm talking about hyper local, so right down to suburb level, which happens a lot, and if you're doing your search from a mobile phone, it happens automatically. Directory listings are still quite prominent on page 1 of Google. So there's really only 4 ways that you can appear on page 1 of Google. You can pay Google through AdWords or SEM. You can be in the map listings, which is powered by your Google business profile page. You can have a listing through the largest in Australia, Yellow Pages, or you can organically get your own website to appear on that page 1 of Google as well. Now, organically getting your own website to appear there, the listings and the Google map listings are all powered by Marketing Centre. The only one that's not is the paid search, which is the SEM, which only has around about 15 to 20%, depending on the industry, of the clicks on that first page anyway. And if you ask yourself, do you prefer to click on the paid links or the free organic links? Most people say the organic links, right? So we really are covering you everywhere that we can cover you on that page 1 Google search without paying Google for those AdWords. So that's the reason we include the directory stuff in there as well, because it does make up a part of that page 1 of Google. But we just want to make sure that our clients are covered everywhere they can be covered.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? When I learnt that a while back, I went and tried it. Try it. Put in plumber, French's Forest, or put in barber, Barara Heights. The first listings that come up are the Yellow Pages listings, and then you've got your Google map and that profile there. Now, the really cool thing about having it all aggregated in one area too, I'm finding, is that I can see where people, like, what's happening. I can see what clicks are coming from where and where the actual traffic's coming from. Also, how long they're on the site, which is a really cool stat. And also the heat mapping. There's so many features talked about, but you know what? We could probably talk about this forever and ever. So what I will suggest that everybody does, if you are wanting to manage your reputation online, if you're wanting visibility and to really up your game in that area, is reach out and we can do a demo. And I have permission to offer one of the most amazing ladies that will come and demo with me to show you. Her name is Nabila, and she will show us through, and I'll share with you what we're doing and share our account as well, because I think there's nothing like live data. And so you can see how it works and look at, you know what, like AI without the foundations, right, is nothing. And if you have your foundations and your business automation, your CRM, then you need to put leads into it. So it all has to work together and you need to be thinking about it like that. And I guess the thing that I really love actually about Thryv is that, and I always say this to our clients, you want to plan for tomorrow, not today. And so what that means is think about where are you wanting to go, and you need to plan for that and manage your reputation, manage that traffic and be ready for it as well. So if all those leads come at you, how are you going to manage them? And so that's why this is such a amazing discussion, because you're seeing this powerhouse stuff come together, this software and the platforms. And yeah, I think, so I might hand back to you at the moment.
No, I couldn't agree more with what Crystelle's just said. And I completely endorse what she's just suggested as well. And that is, yeah, if you have a small business and you are looking for more customers or looking to get your online presence correct, accurate, or even if you just like to know if it is correct and accurate or what is actually happening out there in the Wild West, if you reach out to Crystelle, Crystelle and Launchy are an amazing partner of Keap, but also now Thryv as well. And we've got all of our support. Nabila, who Crystelle mentioned, is actually in my team, and she is amazing. What she doesn't know about Thryv is not worth knowing about. So if you'd like to learn more about Thryv to get more customers and drive that correct presence across the internet, or if you'd like to know more about how you can turn those customers into paying customers, set up some really cool automations for your business via Keap, or looking at how the two work together, then yeah, 100% endorse. Reach out to Crystelle, and both her and Nabila and the team will look after you and show you exactly how what we've spoken about today can work in your particular industry and in your particular business.
Amazing, amazing. So thank you so much, Greg. I so appreciate all this time. I know I've probably taken more time than we talked about as well, but thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to taking that selfie with Thryver.
Absolutely. Look forward to meeting you at the accountancy conference. Yeah, I think it's next week. And thanks for today's chat. I always love chatting with you guys. And I think, yeah, we're going to be doing lots more of it into the future. So yeah, great to catch up.
Absolutely. Thanks, Greg.